Hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome. It is Sunday, and I don't normally go live on Sundays, but I'm kind of housebound. So the white you see behind me is because it has been lightly snowing for, I think, the past 48 hours. We're not getting pounded. I'm in upstate New York, so we're not getting this winter storm as horribly as people north of me are. But it is still something to take seriously and something to respect, to be honest with you. Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, respect her for sure. So please stay warm. Please listen to your travel advisories, your local people. And then, we actually are under no going anywhere. And so unless it's, mandatory or emergency, you're really not supposed to be out on the roads, which really kind of prohibited some things that I was going to do today because I grew up in the middle of nowhere. And so driving in feet of snow were basically how I lived growing up. So for me, I respect the weather, but I don't fear the weather. And so, letting my faucets drip so my pipes don't freeze, making sure I have all the supplies I need, I'm good. I actually cooked all day yesterday. And so today I'm just taking it easy. And one of the things that I did was, if you're not aware, Guidance 311 is a group on Facebook. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're seeing this. If you're here live, welcome. I am Melissa L. Watkins, evidential medium and master instructor with integrated energy therapy, and basically just want to tap into the energies for the week ahead because I have been really feeling it. 2025 ended on December 31st. January 1st started 2026. However, the energies have not shifted. And so the energies aren't going to shift really into this new energetic year for a few more weeks, mid-February. And so I don't know if you've been feeling this, but one of the things that I've been feeling is emotional, just really emotional the last 2 to 3 weeks, and really hoping that, what I'm hoping that it's gonna end, basically, but really what I'm feeling is a purging, like a release. 2025 was all about transformation, endings, and so I've been having very vivid dreams about people in my past, very vivid dreams, that are very metaphoric on things that I have left behind or am now coming into. So it's not just what I've left behind, but it's also been about what I'm coming into. And so, are they prophetic dreams? I think for my own life they are, but it's been stuff that I've been working on. Real emotional shifts that I've been wanting to make within myself. And so I guess I was called to come on today because I did so in my group, Guidance 311 on Facebook, every Friday, I do a pick a card for the weekend, and then I do the reveal on Sunday. And this week, the deck that I chose to do the pick a card was the Denise Lynn Sacred Traveler. And it was very interesting. I've never really commented about the reveals as a whole before. But with everything that I've been experiencing in the past few weeks of having these very clear dreams, I mean, waking up with clear memory of, who was in it, what was said, really being able to tap into these dreams in a way that I really never have before. And I feel like it is, dreams are another way that spirit communicates with us. And so, I've in my medium sessions, I would have people oftentimes, ask me, my loved one is, I'm dreaming about my loved one, is that a message? And the answer is simply yes. Whatever they're coming in to say to you, even if they don't say anything and you just feel their presence, it's because they're bringing you solace, right? They're letting you know that that connection is not severed. And so, spirit, I feel like right now in our dreams, and maybe even signs and symbols that you're receiving, because I mean, the number signs are just all over my life right now. It is about letting us know that we're supported. So whatever signs you're feeling or seeing or experiencing, just know that, whether it's the song that keeps popping up or the number sequence that keeps popping up, or these dreams, and with dreams, you have to be aware that it's not just they're not, it's metaphoric. It's very metaphoric. I actually had a vision of, someone who asked me about someone else, and they asked me about this person, "Could you tune into this person and kinda see where they're at emotionally?" And the first thing I saw was this person in a hospital bed, handcuffed to the bed, and I thought, "Well, that's not literal, right? That's metaphoric in that they're feeling trapped and they're feeling locked in place. They're feeling like they have no control. Um, Maybe something to do with, railing against authority. So when you're having a dream, just know that, you it's metaphoric. It's not necessarily literal. And, there are out there that have prophetic dreams that are literal. There are clairvoyants coming through the dream. And, if that's you, awesome. For the majority of us, though, dreams are metaphoric. And so the past month, I've just been so emotional. Whether it's a TV show or a song or, just my own meditations, things I'm experiencing in my own life. And I just really felt called to do this reading today because I don't feel like I'm alone. I feel like there may be many of you that are going kind of through this um, purging and almost like a cleansing, a baptism of this new energy that's coming in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, I just got the word baptism. So, yeah. So there's a lot. I just feel like we're in this void of this in between where we've let things go, but there are things now we're trying to manifest or shift in our life in a more positive way, whether it's, having emotional connections with people, maybe calling in or trying to manifest your most compatible soulmate, whether it's stepping into your path as far as goals and really wanting to start your own business or have your own next chapter in something on a higher level, making more money, becoming more financially free, whatever it is. I feel like what you're experiencing on the emotional level has to do with what kind of is being left behind or what you're shifting out of. And so I feel like if you're experiencing these dreams like I am, or these signs and synchronicities, these number patterns, these songs, these movies, these themes that maybe keep arising within your life right now. It's kind of not only showing you maybe what you're leaving behind, but it's also showing what you're moving into. And so I pulled these cards in my Guidance 311 group for the weekend, and messages from Spirit for whatever card they chose. But when I pulled them, I was like, wow, I feel like this is the message that we all need because of what we have been experiencing, this past month and probably going to continue to experience until this energy really shifts around the 17th of February, which again, I'm not an astrologer, but I do know that there's like a planetary alignment that's impacting this shift. It's also when the year of the fire horse in Chinese, the Chinese calendar begins. So lots going on, lots coming up, and so I want to get into these cards. I'm gonna go over the cards that came out in the weekend reveal. And if you want more information on those or to actually read what's in the book, you can go to my Guidance 311 group on Facebook and it's all there. And then I'm going to pull in some divine masters to see who is going to be with us or is with us while we go through this process. And then for this week, I'm going to pull some stained glass tarot just to kind of give us some more in depth about this week specifically coming up, the last week in January. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. So I hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you for being here, live, replay. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and hello, those of you who are here. So, okay. The first card that came out, I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. The first card that came out was Joy and Delight. Open your heart to joy. And I was really excited about this card coming out because if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I talk about the emotional chart, the emotional frequency chart. Um, and the highest frequency up there is joy. Joy is one of the highest frequencies or the highest frequency. So, when we're talking about manifestation, it's really important to get into this joyful energy. And it can be really, really hard to do that when you're going through something really difficult or you feel like you're in the depths of despair. You don't have resources. Maybe you're feeling like you're displaced. You're feeling like, that there's not enough money. There's not enough support. There's not enough resource. There's not enough opportunity. There's not enough love. There's nobody really putting themselves out for you, right? So that can be really, really hard to embody any sense of joy, right? But when you can open your heart to joy and if you're in the depths of despair, then you want to do that even just a little bit, even just a little bit every day. And one of the ways to do that is to do gratitude journaling, right? Because gratitude can take you up to get into connection to the frequency of joy. It can shoot you up that emotional chart into those higher frequencies that are then going to help you to draw in the things that you want and not the things that you don't want, right? So if you're someone that feels like you're on this healing journey or you're going through any kind of dark night of the soul, or maybe you're in the midst of some narcissistic abuse pattern with any relationship in your life, romantic or otherwise, really embodying gratitude for what is going right in your life, who is there to support you, in any way that you can, is really going to allow you to then pull in the things that are going to help you. And so this week, if you've never done a gratitude journal, you just want to sit down with a piece of paper. You definitely want to write it, though. You want to be writing it. It's a very ritualistic pen to paper, really kind of activating with your guides through the actual writing process. So 12 things every day you're grateful for 21 days. Let's shift this energy of I don't have enough, things aren't going well for me, nobody's there to support me. Whatever the energy is, it could be just seasonal depression. I mean, I went to my doctor this week because I've got an ear thing going on. I've got to go see an ENT actually because I'm having vertigo when I lay down. It's not fun. And so I've been a little off that way also. But so I went to my doctor because and what she mentioned was seasonal depression. That's where I was going with that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a minute. But yeah, no, I'm not having seasonal depression, but some of you may, if you're not somebody that's maybe in a good place and then, it's dumping 12 inches of snow and you can't go anywhere and you're kind of locked in your house, maybe with people that you don't exactly enjoy or like even, it can be tough. It can be really tough. So, maybe locking yourself in a room, whether even if it has to be the bathroom, the only place there's a lock on the door, right? But 12 things that you're grateful for, especially if you're in a situation where again, you're around somebody that maybe you don't enjoy. Maybe you're working towards moving away from or thinking about moving away from and maybe feeling like that's where you need to go in the future. But right now, that's not possible, right? So how can you move the frequency in your life to call in maybe the right place to go or the person that's going to help you move yourself out of that situation, right? Or maybe you're just needing that extra oomph of energy, right? To have the courage or the strength to take a leap of faith in your business or in your life or in some kind of goal that you have set for yourself that kind of it's there, but you're not really doing anything about it because it seems overwhelming or it's too scary, right? So, yes, the first card out was open yourself to joy. The next card out, they just kept getting better and better, I'm not going to lie, is infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. So, look at that. Community, prosperity, plenty, abundance. So if you're somebody right now who's looking at me and going, okay, that's great, but I'm not feeling it, right? I'm not feeling it. I don't sense it. This is again where abundance is always trying to pour into our life. There's infinite abundance in the universe. There's no finite money. There's no finite resource. There's no finite It's all there's abundance everywhere. And so if you're someone that has always felt like you're not ever on the receiving end, or abundance has never been your birthright, it's never been the thing that's really poured into your life easily. Like you've always felt like you've had to strive and drive to get it, right? Abundance this week is going to pour into your life because you're going to be working on getting into the joy and the receptivity. This is a week that I feel like now that we're at the end of January, this is the last week of January, that where things have been blocked, stuck, or stagnant, right? You're going to start seeing where they're going to be opening up. And so maybe it doesn't pour in exactly this week. Maybe this isn't the week that um, the money drops into your account or the offer is made for the job, right? But you get an inclination, you get a sign, you get a synchronicity, right? If you follow that up with gratitude, if you follow that up with thinking your glass is half full versus half empty, things are going to start showing up because I feel like it's just time. It's just time is opening up right now. They're actually showing me kind of like a opening in the universe. And this is the universe of your own life, right? The energy that surrounds you, right? It's like you've been through enough. You have been down enough. You've been, despair, depression, strive and drive, difficult, right? But what I'm seeing is this energy is now piercing through those energies in your life, right? And so support is all around you. And that is what is going to be showing up this week. The support that is going to bring the infinite abundance. And so, yes, there's going to be something this week, whether it's a bolt of inspiration in your own field, your own energetic field, your own heart chakra coming in through your heart chakra, right? But there's this bolt of inspiration or this knocking on your door, physically knocking on your door of someone wanting to help you in some way. And I feel like it might even be overwhelming, or it might feel out of the blue. And it might even feel like, where did that come from? That's not something I've thought about before. It's not something I've um, wanted before, right? I feel like when you've been in such a lack mentality or striving and driving mode, that sometimes this infinite abundance, you don't even know what that looks like, right? You don't even know that there's people out there that who have been where you are and they want to now help you. They want to now show you the way. It's like they've cracked a code and they want to share that code with you. And I feel like that's what's happening, right? So if it's not happening this week, I feel like the momentum and the energy of it is coming in this week, right? So I would say almost this reading might even be until, the year of the fire horse starts in mid-February. But I feel like this week there's something, whether it's an internal shift within you to prepare you, or it's this external shift, and it might be both, where all of a sudden you're getting more positive feedback. You're getting more people showing up, right? There's just this momentum building where you're feeling the shift, right? And it's exciting, but sometimes when it's kind of all happening at once, it can feel overwhelming and it can feel scary, right? This is where I feel like the courage and the strength is going to be needed. So, who are we going to call on? Who are we going to call on for this as we kind of feel these energies shift or things start to open up in our lives? And and I almost feel like you may even feel like it's too good to be true, because here's the thing. You've never been here before. This is all new energy coming in. 2026 is a 1 year where things are going to start showing up, not only in your own life, but collectively, right? Very new energies are coming in. there's energy that's coming in that we've not experienced for thousands of years. I've been watching the astrologers, and they're like, we don't even know what to say because this is not something we can kind of go back and look at. That before documented history started, right? There's no documentation of these alignments and these energies because it's not happened. And so can that be scary? Absolutely. That can be really uncomfortable. Wow. Interesting. Horus, manifestation vortex. Belief makes manifest. Thoughts attract and create. This is so synchronistic because I'm actually reading a book right now that's describing Horus and the who Horus was and the wow, that's just synchronistic, guys. That's so synchronistic. So I'm actually reading. I'm gonna put it out there. Awakening in the Dream. Awakening in the Dream, Contact with the Divine by David Wilcock. And so he talks about dreams. He talks about how to navigate your dreams and define them. And then also he talks about and goes into the law of one, which I've been reading about. And Horus from the Egyptian was one of the very early people. He was actually the son of beings that came down to help us on planet Earth, to help us navigate the third dimension and navigate how to ascend. Wow. Okay. So belief makes manifest. So yes, this is where, again, you have a hard time believing in infinite abundance, but that's what we're coming into, this unity consciousness of everybody prevailing, everybody having what they want. And we do it together. But how we do that right now individually is we've got to get into shifting our consciousness from negative to positive, from half empty, glass half full. So we've got to get into this very glass half full energy of staying in joy and staying in the high vibrations of gratitude to allow us to pull in what is for us, what we're desiring, and for some of you that might be your own connection to the divine, right? Your own ability to manifest, your own ability to receive messages for yourself or to share, right? And so these energies are very different than what we're used to. And, so calling in your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters, perfect. Sandalphon, building the bridge. Your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts. So yeah, I mean, and I've said this before, if you're finding me, you're a light worker. If you're finding me, there's something in you that wants to help others. There's something in you that's driving you to be the best version of yourself or to learn as much as you can, because you're just being called. You're being called. And so calling on Archangel Sandalphon, who actually is the twin of Archangel Metatron, and Sandalphon is also correlated with the Earth Star chakra, so be very grounded this week as you're feeling these energies trying to maybe pull you in these very etherical, energetic directions, right? That maybe feel, it's almost like air energy, right? It just feels like it's pulling you all over the place. And it's like, I don't know what direction to go in. And so calling on Archangel Sandalphon to help ground you this week will be really, really helpful in manifesting what it is that you're wanting, or feeling called to. I almost feel like it's not even a want anymore. It's not a desire anymore. It's almost like it's a calling, right? It's this calling of I'm being called to go in a certain direction. And for some of you, this is a very different direction, a direction away from a particular person, a direction away from a career or a job or just a shift in your own consciousness of this more, right? This more. Oh, I got 2 more. Haniel, embraced by love, let love reach where it has never reached before. And I love this because this, call in Archangel Haniel, because these 2 very high vibrational energies of joy and love are going to help you to have the courage and the strength to move forward in the way that you're being called. And calling in Archangel Sandalphon to help you feel grounded as you're doing this. And look at that. The heart chakra with the green crystal being highlighted there. So yeah, so for some of you, I feel like there is going to be heartache. Like the way in which you shift into this higher calling or this higher frequency, right? There are going to be people in situations that are not going to choose to embrace this new version of you. And so there may be some grieving, and this could be some of the emotion that you've been experiencing the past couple of weeks or are going to be experiencing in the next couple of weeks. Because as you're shifting into something new, you're shifting away from something else. And so if you can let the love shine through you, into you, and embrace that for yourself, it will be more easier to share it with others. And then those who choose to look away because you're shining too brightly, that's on them. All you can do is pray for them and let them go. And pray that they'll come back. And pray that they'll come back. All right? And then we have Kathumi, initiatory experience. Your current situation is initiating your gifts. Oh, there it is. I love that. So yes, this is an initiation period. This is a period of learning through these signs, these synchronicities, these number patterns, these themes that keep coming up in the movies and the songs and the lyrics and maybe even the books you're reading, right? Whatever it is that you're being brought to. You're in an initiatory experience. So when you're being initiated, right, you're learning. You're learning. So I feel like this week there's something that will be coming through that you'll be learning, right? So some avenue that you're being brought to that is going to help you with the initiation that you're going through, whether it's initiation into higher states of love, higher states of consciousness, higher states of job, higher states of career, higher states of relationship, higher states of your own growth and development. Okay, I think I want to read this one actually. Kathumi. Let's I don't know if it's Kathumi or Katumi. Well, let's see what we got here. Hijk. All right. I got to put on different glasses, guys. I cannot see these words enough. All right, here we go. Oh, it's much better. Master Katumi, or Kuthumi, also known simply as KH, was one of the original ascended masters of theosophy. His name was a pseudonym given to protect the identity of a highly influential man from Punjab region who was known to have encouraged the Maharaja at the time to reclaim his spiritual path. Now he is the keeper of the golden ray of wisdom, a divine energy that can be invoked to help us tune into the mysteries of the universe. Which, interestingly enough, I was thinking he looked like the Master Jesus, right? Which goes back to Christ consciousness, which is the golden ray. Interesting. Kutumi is an evolved soul working closely with the earth and appears to anyone who is ready to move forward in their spiritual path. Interesting. So he also correlates with Archangel Sandalphon, who is correlated with earth energy. So lots of Mother Gaia energy this week. Lots of Mother Gaia energy this week. So interestingly enough, that we are going through this really big storm here in the United States. I think it's impacting pretty much all of the United States in different ways, bringing in this very cold energy, which has kind of like a cleansing feeling to it, right? Especially in my region where everything's very cold, very bright, clean looking, everything's white, right? Lots of white snow out there. This divine master acts as a spiritual doorkeeper, somewhat like an energetic bouncer, holding space so that those embarking on the spiritual path can enter deep transcendental states and be protected from lower vibrations. So definitely calling on Katumi as you're kind of going through this week and maybe butting up against people who are still in their lower states of consciousness, right? They're still vibing really down in the 3D and they're kind of coming at you with any of those lower energies of, jealousy or judgment. And, calling on him to kind of help you work through that relationship or conversation. So the message is, this is a time to take your intentions, plans, and gifts to the next level. It's time to stop playing small and think beyond where you are now. If you've held back in dreams, intentions, or plans, allow yourself to start moving toward the life you want for yourself. Cosmic energies is surrounding you now, holding a sacred space for you to delve deep into yourself in order to uncover gifts, talents, abilities, and more. The situation that you're moving through is very important for your life's path. Know that any limitations, challenges, or fears that are arising up for opportunities for you to fully show up and shine. Be aware that adversity is actually an opportunity to learn and teach. Know that there is no mistakes in the events that are unfolding for you now. Instead, there is a sacred plan based on the prayers, intentions, and visions you have had for yourself, your life, and your spiritual path. So I really like the energy for this week. A lot of help coming in. A lot of spiritual help. So energy shifting. Energy is shifting for sure. And I think that that's what I've been feeling for the past kind of 3 to 4 weeks, and probably going to continue to feel, because I was feeling it today as well, that emotions are coming up, right? To be released, to be transmuted. And some are new. Some are new. Some are coming in, and you're experiencing them to kind of get in touch with them, because it's going to be getting in touch with them in a new way, right? So interesting. Okay. So let's dive into. Good morning, Chrissy. Good morning, Jeannie. And good morning, Tammy. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening to all of you. I'm thinking it's morning, and it's literally like almost 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know why I keep saying good morning. But it's what happens when you're kind of, locked in your house, and you got up late, and well, actually I got up super early and I read in bed, and then I went back to sleep. So I was up at 5:42, but fell back to sleep after I did some reading. So that's kind of where we're at. No unnecessary travel, and it's all good. I got my soup from yesterday. I made a homemade chicken soup, and made some cupcakes, but I didn't frost them. I was actually going to take them over to my granddaughter and let her frost them, but now I can't go anywhere, so here we are. It's okay. So this week, what does Spirit want us to know for this week, the last week in January? And I had one fly out. The Two of Wands in the reverse. Two of Wands in the reverse. So let's see what So this is the Stained Glass Tarot by, oh, it doesn't tell me. Huh. Let's see if we got an author. Do we have an author? Interesting. Craft Cards. Designed and written by Craft Cards. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So 2 of Wands in reverse. This week. Again, I can't read with these glasses. I don't know why I tried to do that. Okay. Oh, that's so much better. Getting old, people, getting old. You might decide to stay put and choose the safest option due to fear of change and fear of the unknown. Or you might have gotten what you wanted, but you are discontent with your achievements. Draw your attention inwards to focus on your personal goals and find your inner alignment. So this week, you're going to be asked to really look at what you have been afraid of, whether it was needing to make a change or it was something you were wanting. That happens. There are things that we want, but we're afraid to want them. Like it feels too big. When I started this a decade ago now, I was really holding myself back because I was actually, dealing with imposter syndrome, but also the fear of success. Like, what if this takes off? What if I'm actually good at this? Like, how would I handle that? I'm used to not doing well, right? I'm used to the shoe dropping or things not working out. And this week, it's almost like the energies are kind of showing you, what that is for you. Yeah, because it's now time. Look at this. This week, it's time for you to embrace new. It's a time to nurture what it is you do want, or what it is you're being called to, or whatever inspiration you've been given or being given. For some of you, you're the only one that's been holding yourself back. And now this week, it's time to really look at, where am I holding myself back? Because I need to nurture myself and nurture the inspiration, or nurture the goal, or that feeling within me that's kind of taking me in that new direction, right? Away from things that are holding me back, blocking me. When you're in a relationship that's not working out, it's blocking, things to be able to come in that would work out. I wanted to know if my loved ones on the other side have any messages for me if you're doing your readings. Oh, Tammy, this is general. Take what resonates. We'll be back Tuesday for Tuesday Tarot. All right. Next is 6 of Wands. Yeah. Because you're being guided to inspirations and people and situations that are ultimately going to bring you success. So you're being guided to what is going to work out for you. You're being guided this week. Something is coming in to show you where things are going to positively manifest from, or show up for you. So success this week is coming in, and it's coming in once you kind of look at and choose what not to let yourself hold you back with. Let's see if I can say that better. Success is coming this week, but it's going to be once you decide what it is you need to nurture this week, where it is maybe fear has been holding you back or blocking you from making choices and decisions you need to make. Okay, that's better. That came out better. Tracy, welcome. Yes, I am warm. I am well. Got my humidifier going so it's not dry in here. I mean, it's, just doing all the things you got to do when it's super, super cold. Oh, I love it. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. Yes. New inspiration. New beginning. I'm hearing new field of study for someone. So someone watching this or will watch this If you've been pondering a new field of study, I feel like this is your validation. And maybe it's not, and it doesn't have to be like in a university. It doesn't have to be in higher learning. It can be literally your own field of study, things that you have been focused on. You might be inspired to go in now this new direction or, yeah, and it's going to be successful as long as you nurture it. But you've got to decide. And look at that. Yeah, you've got to decide, where do you want to go? What do you want to learn? What do you want to I almost feel like for some of you, this transformation in how you're thinking. You're transforming from negative to positive. You're transforming from I can't to I can. You're transforming from I won't to I will. Because it's time. It's time. It's like what you've been being given isn't good enough. The relationship isn't what you thought it was going to be. It's not going in the direction you thought it was going to go in. There's things about it that don't feel right and you're not okay with. The job isn't satisfying anymore. The career doesn't fulfill your fill up your cup anymore. It's now you're being kind of guided in a new direction. But whatever it is, it will be successful. And I think this is really important, especially for those of you who are really trying to decide, do I go or do I stay? I feel like this is saying, it's time to choose yourself. It's time to love yourself. It's time to nurture yourself. It's time to stand in your power. Because on the other side of that decision, is where you get the positivity. It's where you get the blessing. It's where you get the abundance. It's where you get the most compatible soulmate. Positive test results. I like it. Yeah. Don't be focused on what you don't have. Don't be focused on what you don't have. Be focused on what you do have. Be focused on what you do have this week. The money's coming. The money's coming. The resource is coming. The opportunity is coming. The check is coming. The money is coming. But you've got to believe it. You've got to believe it. Because success is your birthright. But are you nurturing? Are you nurturing that? Are you nurturing that? I also feel like this is also kind of making me feel like you're the one getting in your own way. You're getting in your own way. Nobody else is getting in your way. You're getting in your own way because you're stuck in the mental body. You're stuck in Ace of Wands. A new opportunity or idea with the potential to grow is coming into your life. You have the creative spark and ambition needed to begin enterprises, to start a new passion or pursue a new talent. You are enthusiastic for the new beginning. Yeah. You're the only one holding yourself back. Okay. So I'm looking at these cards. I'm going to read them a little different. Okay. So that was kind of the general overall for the week. Okay. But I'm looking at the cards and I'm seeing kind of a different message. So this is going to be for love and relationship. I don't do these very often, but it's coming through loud and clear. So for those of you who have been in a relationship that has not been working out, or you've been holding on to a relationship because maybe it was easier or it was scary not to. All right. What I'm seeing here is you're being called to make a choice in a relationship that it's time to clearly be honest with yourself that the person that you thought they were is not who they were. They aren't someone who is going to be able to go into the new with you. That they're holding you back from your potential. And so it's like the decision's been staring you in the face for a minute, but yeah, it's time to move forward on your own. It's time to love yourself enough to move forward. That it's time to take a new perspective in this relationship. Because once you do, you get the relationship you want with someone new. King of Wands. Yeah, somebody who is grounded. Somebody who is trying to get this. Yeah, there it is. Somebody who's grounded. He's just got a really strong, grounded vibe, and they know who they are, and I feel like they have integrity. I'm just getting this, they do what they say what they do. They are who they are. So for those of you who've been wanting love, for those of you who have been trying to call in love, I feel like it's coming. Maybe not this week, but I feel like as these energies change within the next month or so, things are going to start opening up where you're going to start meeting new people. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, you're going to start meeting new people. The Lovers, the Emperor, and the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Look at that. So this, male or female, as long as you're choosing to look at your love life from a new perspective, right? Not holding on to the old story, that you let the paradigm shift happen. You walk away from people who do not serve you. You're going to get the relationship that would be the most compatible soulmate. And I got 3 different energies here. So take this how this resonates. But yeah, so you're going to get the Emperor energy, the Page of Pentacles energy, a new offer. So it will be someone new. It won't be a reconnection. That other card went flying. Sorry, guys. Hold the phone. Gotta love live. Okay. Yeah. So grounded, new, male or female, stands in their own power, knows who they are. They're their own authority figure. And it will be a loving relationship. It will be a most compatible soulmate situation. But to set that up for yourself, especially for those who have not made the decision to save themselves, it's going to take longer. But I feel like if you're being honest about the relationship you're in and you take the steps to love yourself enough to go in the direction that's right for you, you will 2026 is going to be your year for romance, for most compatible soulmate, especially for those of you who have been single for a very long time, or for those who've been in a not great relationship for a very long time and you've been ready to move away from it. And once you do, things open up for you. So, yeah, take that how that resonates. Did not see that coming. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. Okay. All right, that was quite the message. All right, so Guidance 311, the group. If you want to read the Sacred Traveler by Denise Lynn, you can go there and do that. Also hit the like button, subscribe button. Please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I truly appreciate it. Oh my gosh, such good stuff. Such good stuff. All right. So, oh, I got to almost an hour. Wow. All right. We're going to leave that right there then. Yeah. I'm looking around. I think we're good. I think Spirit got their message out. So I hope this finds you well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like, subscribe, share. If you want to know any more about me, go to my website. Check that out if you're brand new. If you're not, thank you for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll talk soon. All right, guys. Have a nice day.